Salutations! We recently just witnessed the first flight for the Master Chief Collection for PC complete its testing phase this past weekend, and I just so happened to be one of the lucky few who were selected to play it. I'll be using this video to cover my thoughts and opinions on how this flight played out, and talk about how I felt about the visuals, controls, optimization, etc. I'll also explain what I felt could be implemented or tweaked to improve the overall experience. Keep in mind that the reason this first flight was so bare on content, with the build only including Tip of the Spear as a playable mission, as well as a limited settings menu, was due to it simply being a test to see how well the Master Chief Collection runs on the PC platform. Consider it a test run for future test runs, so to speak. This review won't be too long considering there really isn't much to cover in this first flight. The game ran excellent for me in almost every aspect. The movement and aiming controls felt tight, and it felt amazing to be able to play Halo Reach with a mouse and keyboard. It played as if Halo Reach was meant to be played on a PC, and that tells me 343 went on their word when they mentioned how seriously they are taking the PC optimization for MCC. The game consistently ran at 60 frames per second on my machine with very little hiccups, and the visual fidelity for a base game that came out in 2010 was a sight to behold. It makes me so excited to be able to remake Halo Reach Evolved once proper modding support comes out for this game, and I can't wait to see my creation run at 60 frames per second and 4K visuals. Like with the rest of the games featured in the Master Chief Collection, this iteration of Halo Reach stays very true to the original release in terms of gameplay and art direction, despite running at a much higher resolution. While the settings were limited in this build, I was happy to see the field of view slider made it in even if the current limit is set to 90, and that's due to 343 still trying to iron out the kinks for the view model to properly display itself at higher fields of view. I was also happy that I could change my key bindings, and I made mine match the default control scheme for Halo Combat Evolved's current PC port as much as possible, which is the control scheme I'm the most used to. However, there are a few aspects to this build that I feel could use some attention. The biggest issue I had with the first flight was being unable to change my settings in-game. The pause menu didn't include a selection for altering settings, and we were forced to exit the game to tweak them. A feature I'd like to see in future builds is the ability to enable specific keys to bring up a side menu to tweak the field of view live as the game's played. Halo Custom Edition has this ability already set up in both OpenSauce and Halo Anti-Cheat 2, where we press F7 or F6 respectively, and a box with a field of view slider appears for us to tinker with. One of the new features included in the settings menu is the option to display the crosshair directly in the center of the screen. While it's a welcome change, there's an issue with this. The view model for the weapon moves up along with the crosshair, which will make the weapon take up more of the screen than it already does. A solution to this would be to give the player the option to edit where the view model is located on screen. In fact, Custom Edition's OpenSauce has this option included as well. I also ran into a couple visual oddities, such as these rocks consistently changing colors, the Warthog's model in the beginning cutscene already being destroyed, and the water shaders in some areas not looking the way they should. But thankfully, many of these quirks are known issues. I also noticed that the sound mixing was pretty wonky in this build, and it was hard to hear my weapon firing sound effects over explosions, for instance. Lastly, it would be nice to be able to set a second keybind to any specific action. In its current state, MCC only offers one key per action, and having two keybinds would be nice for certain actions like switching weapons and grenades. Overall, this flight has me in high spirits considering how well it played out for a first test, and I can't wait to see what's to come in the subsequent flights, which will have larger player pools just so you are aware. I heard that the next flight will include Firefight, which sounds awesome since it'll offer much more replayability than a campaign mission ever could. If, and only if, you enjoyed this video, hit the like button as it helps my channel greatly, and subscribe for more Halo content on this channel. Make sure to hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video, and follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and join my Discord server as well. I also have a Patreon account where you can voluntarily donate however much money you'd like to further support the channel. I'd like to thank the following Sangheili Zealots: Storm from Storm and Blackbird, Pablo Escobar, Sunny Boy, and Thrinmon. This is the Ventral Vatum, and I'll see you on the great journey.